Hey everybody, welcome back. It's been a little while since I did a deck profile, and I've been having a lot of fun with Madolche lately. I've had a couple top set locals with this lately. Yesterday I got like sixth place, I think, um, and had a pretty good run with this. I like the deck a lot, and it's definitely becoming one of my favorite decks lately. And I'm gonna continue to try and like innovate it and everything with the new format coming in. I don't know how good it'll be this format, but we'll see. This is the list I think I'm going to go into it, and we'll see if we edit it from there. So I'll talk about my choices and stuff like that. A lot of it's pretty standard. So three Magdalene. Anybody that like knows the deck basically knows you have like 9 starters. So you have like your Magdalene, you have your Angelis, and you have your Petting Sister. So if you have like any of these 9, like I refer to these as almost like the Divine 9, you like pretty much have like a lot of your combo. Because this is the Searcher on normal summon. This is like Lone Fire Blossom, tributes itself to special summon one. This, if you have nothing in your grave, you can special summon it. And then when this is special summoned by any means, it'll summon out the Pudding Cess from your deck and lower its level to a level 4. And your deck is primarily based on like rank 4 exceeds. So it really lets you go into like a lot of your bigger plays. So if you really live or die by like getting to like one of these starters, but it's pretty consistent enough, I would say. I play 2 Hoot Cake. I don't like playing 3 because you kind of don't want to see it in the hand. This banishes one from the graveyard to special summon a Madolche from the deck. It'd be a lot more broken if he was level 4, but I get why they don't do that. You don't really want to see it in your hand unless you have something in your graveyard, like a hand trap that you want to get rid of to make the rest of your combos go off. But yeah, I like 2 a lot. Really good card. And another 2 of is Messengelato, who is weirdly one of my favorites and also like my least favorite at the same time, because this guy always finds his way into my hand. I don't know how, but it's like a magnet. There's only 2 of them, and he's fairly useless in the hand. You want to special summon him from the deck off of your Hoot, because when he's summoned, if there's a B-type Madolche on your side of the field, he adds a Madolche spell or trap deck to hand, which is usually your field spell or other stuff that kind of helps your combos get going. So he's really good. He's got 1600 body too. Hand traps, 3 Ash. I played triple Gamma and the Driver. I did draw the Driver, I think, twice. But it was okay. This deck, like, you don't want to run a ton of hand traps, especially ones that go to the graveyard, because that gets in the way of like a lot of your combos with Petting Sister. So Gamma's really good because he banishes himself. But the Ash is definitely necessary right now. Kind of just have to play it. For spells, this is why it's not a budget deck. 3 Pot of Prosperity. I was playing Extravagance previously, and I really didn't like the idea of potentially... there were times where I banished like all of my teachers or all of my Tiramisus or something. And while the probability of that is pretty low, I like this card a lot more. It does get in the way of your OTKs at times because it halves the damage. But I would much rather dig through 6 cards off the top of my deck and get to pick and add 1 card than randomly get 2 randoms at the cost of like potentially costing me the whole game. So I like Prosperity a whole lot. I played Triple Salon. I've seen some people play 1. I've seen people play 2. And I've seen people play 3. I think 3 is right for this, because this is just a really good like extension. It's a double summon for Madolches, and once per turn, when one of them shuffles or is added to your hand by a card effect, it will set a Madolche spell or trap from your deck. So like this and Ticket are very similar in functionality, except this adds a monster, and special summons it if you control a fairy Madolche. So it's really good when you get both of these on the field, because then you're really going like as quick as the deck could possibly really go and flooding the field, because you're setting spells and traps, you're special summoning monsters, or you're adding monsters as you're shuffling cards, other people's cards, your own cards, doing a whole lot of disruption and everything And yeah, I like those a lot. I would not play more than one Salon because you can just search it. Chateau is the field spell. I used to play 2. The card's really good. It gives everything a 500 buff. It shuffles your graveyard. It lets you add the ones that you shuffle back to your hand. But it never really comes up where this gets destroyed because you kind of have like in archetype protection. So, 2, the second one is just kind of like I'd rather have a spot for like some other card. If this does get destroyed somehow, it is kind of sad. But you can just recur it anyway with Tiramisu because she shuffles Madolche cards, not just monsters. So this is always like recurable, and I don't really regret going to 1 at all. But the extra 500 buff is something that a lot of people don't really pay attention to. And then this deck excels at like just OTKing your opponent out of nowhere. Traps. I ran triple Ice Dragon's Prison. Again, sorry, not a budget deck. But this is really good. This format, like this is potentially an out to Dragoons. There's a player at my locals that really loves to play Dragon Maid. This is really good against that deck as well. Anything that's using a lot of the same type or Altergeist has been popular at my locals lately. This is really good. This is just pretty much like free removal, and something that this deck really needed. I play triple Solemn Strike. Really good trap going first. Usually side these out if I think I'm going second. Just one of the strongest traps in the game in my opinion. I built this deck kind of going first anyway. So along with that going first, this was an addition this week that I was not playing before. These were Dynamishes, but I found that I did not want to discard cards. So the Goes in Match doesn't affect me at all because everything's Earth. So it locks both players into one attribute on the field. So if you're playing something like Sky Striker, or if you're playing something like Dragon Maid, or a lot of these decks that require multiple attributes, you lock them into one thing. I was also thinking about like with Tri Brigade, if I can get them stuck onto like just the Earth or just the Dark One, or even just like I can prevent them from going off with their full combo into the wind and barrier statuing me, because that does suck. This deck needs to special summon. So Goes in Match is really good because it doesn't affect me. It's a floodgate, which a lot of people don't like, but I kind of need it. And then arguably one of the best cards in the main deck is Madolche Promenade. It's kind of like an imperm. It targets Madolche in my grave or on the field, and a card my opponent controls, a face-up card my opponent controls. Their card will get negated. My card will come back to my hand. And then it has a grave effect that doesn't come up as often, but you banish it to attach a material to a Madolche Exceeds that you control from your hand, deck, or grave. So it's really good. You can recur it again once more with like Tiramisu. And it's just really good. It's what the deck really needed. It is one of the newer cards for the archetype. And they really needed an interruption because you can set up a really good board going first and you're a crazy OTK deck going second. This offers you at least some disruption. It's not quite as good as like Dragon Maid Tidying right now, but this is a really good card nonetheless. Extra, we're still not budgeted on these. These are my ultimate Tiramisus. I was playing commons before, so it's okay. I sometimes know what it's like to play with budget, but I love this deck so much. This card is nuts. So this is non-targeting shuffling of 2 cards your opponent controls. Not destruction, this outs Dragoons, this outs a whole, like, anything, it says can't be targeted, cool. Can't be destroyed by card effects, that's fine. This just gets rid of stuff and recycles a lot of your Promenade, any cards that you use, gets them back into your deck, proccing your Salon, proccing your Ticket. On top of a 22 body, 27 plus the field spell. In my opinion, this is the best removal that Yu-Gi-Oh has. Very, very good card. And 3 Teacher, quickly becoming like probably my favorite. Even though I said so much good stuff about the Queen. This one's really good, especially against like Drytron and stuff, because it detaches material to make itself unaffected by monster effects, which kind of starts your combo. But then whenever a Madolche goes to the graveyard from anywhere, including beneath her as a material, you non-targeting shuffle 2 monsters from either player's graveyard into the deck. So you can just get rid of problematic stuff in the graveyard. You can get rid of Golden Lords. It's just really good. It's like D.D. Crow kind of on steroids. I like this card a whole lot. And the strongest one sort of the Exceeds is Chocolat a la mode. So she stacks onto any of the other rank 4s. Special summons from the deck. If she has the Pudding, this is why you play the Pudding Cessor, the level 5, or the Pudding Cess, the level 5. Because if she has her as material, if you shuffle a card back, you get to detach one to special summon a Madolche from the deck, which makes your end board pretty crazy. You could set a crazy wall going first to this deck using this as material. The only thing you do hard lose to Nibiru, which is kind of annoying, but it happens. This Zeus I only make sometimes. This only happens if you get your petting negated, because petting locks you into Madolches for the rest of the turn. But if they bother to do that, I'll just swing into them with one of the Exceeds like this. This will already have like 4 materials under it. So then you make a Zeus, and now you have a Zeus with multiple board wipes. Baguska, these are just rank 4 Exceeds that I thought might be good. At times they did not really come up at all. Like I said, a lot of time you're locked into Madolche. For links, I just play Sistart. I used to play 2. I cut it to 1. I never really needed the second one. She's really good to end on because she protects your back row from targeting and destruction, the Madolche cards. And she actually has a non-once per turn. She can save herself from destruction by shuffling Madolches in your graveyard back, which, once again, procs your Salon and your ticket, and just basically keeps your whole engine going. And then I played one Link Spider. I was kind of worried about Dinosaur. It might have come up once. This is just to get rid of the token. I usually banish it off of Pot of Prosperity. And then, because I'm playing Gamma, if it does come up where I can Gamma them during my turn, and I don't lose my driver in my Gamma to being banished, I can make Omega and rip a card out of their hand. That doesn't come up. Once again, most of the time I just banish that off of the Prosperity. But yeah, I love this deck a whole lot. Oh, I do have my side, by the way. I forgot about that part. We're playing Kaijus because there's a lot of bird up at locals, so we need the wind one. I used to just play Gamma Seals. I really need to get a third Godarla, but this is really good to drop onto the barrier statue. I'm playing 2 Sphere Mode, mostly for bird up. It just eats up your normal summon, but you could just basically wipe out their entire board. 3 really expensive card. This won me around against Altergeist, where I just destroyed 5 back row. Yeah, it's a really, really, really broken card. Also, Dark Ruler No More. This helped me out a Dragoon at one point. You really need it. This deck does excel at going second, but this helps you all that much more. The no damage kind of sucks, but Cosmic and 1 Harpies with a red reboot. This is just to stop anything back row that's going to try and get in my way from just killing you in one turn. Because the deck doesn't really have a problem getting to that stage. If, as long as I can dodge some interruption, I'm usually good. So yeah, that was the deck. Let me know what you guys think. If any other Madolche players are out there, let me know what you guys think of this current build. And yeah, let me any suggestions or anything. If you're new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It would really mean a lot to me. Thank you to the people who have supported me on Patreon in the past, and everybody that subscribes to me already. You guys are super, super awesome. And thank you so much. My name is Miasma, and I'll see you next time.